What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to review the Meridian Defense AK-101. This is a rifle in extremely high demand. I received it 5 days ago from my FFL, and I've had a chance to kind of get a look at the fit and feel, kind of give it a chance to test fire it as well. And since there's not a lot of reviews on the internet, I thought people would benefit from a review as to what they can expect from the fit and finish and function. I'll summarize it right now. This is the best AK I have ever owned. And in 5.56 caliber, it is very versatile and something that I will get a lot of time and use out of. Just a heads up, I've had Wassers, I've had PSAs, and of course I've had the Russian SGLs. I've had perhaps my favorite was the Bulgarian SLR 104. This beats all of those, and so I'm very excited, a little cautious with an American AK manufacturer saying they can do something like this, but in the 5 days I've had it and the fit and feel, I am very satisfied. There's a few things I'll make a point on, but otherwise I thought while the sun is going down, I would just give a quick review on this fine and fantastic product. First shots. Oh, that's really nice. So this is the case that Meridian Defense shipped me the rifle in. If you look at the case here, this is all the original paperwork and the lock and stuff that came with it. And of course it came here with a plug here too, and then it came with a tag on it as well. Interesting enough, when I first opened this, I thought they had not shipped me the bolt. And then I realized they put the bolt in this little plastic container there. And so if you're like me, I was kind of scrambling around and I was kind of getting ready to contact their warranty, to be honest, and not something I had to worry about. The package came in with a magazine. Now, these are all the magazines, variety of magazines that I have to test it with, but it actually came with this AC Unity magazine. Interesting enough, this is probably one of the more sloppy magazines that I have, but it's still a pretty nice magazine, pretty cheap, but it does the trick. All of these magazines did fantastic in this rifle here, so I'll try to show you in a minute here. I've got kind of one hand, and I am trying to make this a quick review, but let's kind of run through the rifle real quick and just kind of give people an overview. So this isn't scripted or anything. I'll just try to run through this as fast as I can. Starting off, furniture. Absolutely fantastic. It's solid, and considering I've had rifles that are Bulgarian SGLs from Arsenal with their stock, PSA stocks, etc., this is probably one of the more high quality stocks that I've seen on the market here. At first I was kind of wondering, is this just maybe an off-the-shelf product, maybe from Arsenal, that Meridian Defense has brought in and just kind of added to the rifles? But as far as I know, they're either making these in-house or they are outsourcing these, but they have their logo and that kind of imprinted on the side right there. So I thought that's kind of cool. I don't see any US markings like you typically see with an Arsenal, but again, this is an American-made AK, so it does not need those US markings. So kind of going through here again with the flash hider, there is a lot of chrome, as Tony on his videos promised, just bleeding off the side. Of course, it's a little darker now because I put about 100 rounds through this. Now, a couple modifications before people start freaking out on this review. I did take off the latch on the side. I do that with all my side folders because when I shoot, I like to kind of hold my hands and be able to move it to the side, and I don't like this catching on my clothes. That's just a personal preference. If I really wanted to fold the stock, then I would do so. Speaking of which, it is super solid. If I really wanted to fold it like that and hold it, I would, but it's not been a concern at all. So there's absolutely no play in that stock. It functions just great. So anyways, I will say I had a lot of trouble getting that cleaning rod in there. And if I can zoom in, I know it's getting a little dark. I don't think it's going to be possible to show, but there is a rivet. I think that's the rivet right there. A little dark to see, but there is a rivet where the bottom of the cleaning rod hits the rivet when it goes in, and I cannot insert it all the way. In fact, the cleaning rod, of course with the muzzle brake off, the cleaning rod gets stuck right about there. And I was looking, well, how do I get this in there? Because I did not have this problem on my Bulgarian or my SGLs that were in the same configuration. And then I realized I could just, for people wondering online, you can just push this right here really hard. And what that does is it bends the rod down like this, and then you can get it and shove it in there like that. I'm seeing online people that are saying you can Dremel the side of your cleaning rod off, and that is absolutely not something I wanted to do. So before I get too carried away again, the stock latch I did remove that because it's just something I prefer, but I also put on my Krebs peep sight. I just happen to find that more preferable for target shooting, and also I find in low lighting conditions it just works better. This is something I've had at least the last 15 years, so yeah, it's been marred because I've had this on Wassers and everything else like that. So, but otherwise, yeah, the stock, everything is completely fine, fit and finish. And again, I think Clayco47 said this, but this is actually more clone correct than even my Russian SGL was, which is amazing. There's that bump rivet off to the side there too that I don't even think my SGL had, if I recall. So, anyways, the stock is just fantastic. You can see they even have that plate at the bottom there, which only my SLR had, or my SLR 104 had, and it just feels fantastic. One thing to note, though, is the stock latch does not rotate. It's fixed. And I actually kind of like that. I don't know if that was on the original Russians, but I really do like it. Anyways, one thing about AKs you might... couple things, I guess, that annoy me on many AKs that I've had is when you go to use the safety lever, some of them really stick hard. I mean, you don't want them loose enough that the safety just kind of goes off automatically, but you want it something where there's a lot of pressure for you to take the safety off here at will, but yet easy enough that you can take it on and off. And this fits that criteria. It's easy enough to take on and off, and it's not something you have to worry about, but you can take it off at will. So I really do like that. Anyways, moving along here on the side. Also, the latch here, it comes off pretty easily too. It's, again, very hard. It's hard enough that it's not just going to fly off there like my PSA did a long time ago, but it's definitely not my Wasser where you have to get the cleaning kit and pull it off. So I do like that. It's been very nice with its fit and finish. I'm not quite sure if this is clone correct or if this is just a manufacturer intolerance. I suppose I don't want it tight on there anyways, just because when the rifle heats up, but there is a gap, and that's probably one of the bigger gaps I've seen on my rifles. But again, I don't know if that was deliberate by Meridian or that's just the way it is right there. Then if we move on, I will also say compared to my SLR, which is probably the best of all of these, and my SGLs, there is much more metal down here. And if you look at least my SGLs and my SLR 104, there is a lot less metal down there. And to be honest, my SLR 104 had one of the worst canted blocks of any rifle I've had, ironically, and it's an Arsenal, and you'd think it would be better. And so, of course, I could have drilled those out and tried to fix my sights, but I wasn't able to do it because there just wasn't a lot of metal. This has a lot of metal down there, so if you ever wanted to drill those out or anything, hopefully you wouldn't, because this is a product, after all, you're paying a lot of money for. But I'm just saying, I really appreciate that there is more metal down there. Of course, you can see the bayonet lugs, very nice, beautiful. And one thing, too, to note is my SGL, at least, PSA, the muzzle brake was rather loose even when fully detented. This is loose enough that it's going to easily come off even when carbon deposited, but it's not so loose that it's rattling around, and I really appreciate that. Now, speaking of which, from the factory, I know things are within spec as long as it sights in, but let's see if I can get it over the white. It is pretty darn close to being straight right there. And that is, it did not have to be readjusted once I put my rear leaf sight on there. So when I took it out and tested it at the range, I was only at 25 yards, but it was still dead on, and I really appreciated that. Stock trigger, fantastic. It is actually a very light trigger. I actually kind of wish it was a little bit longer of a length of pull on the trigger, but that is just a personal preference. Because, I mean, you literally just touch that trigger maybe back a few millimeters, and then it's just a single stage, and then the gun goes off. So, again, a lot of guys like that. Very good for accuracy. But, again, this is kind of one of those military weapons, and that's why I kind of just prefer mine to be a little longer, but that's just a personal preference. So otherwise, polished bolt face at the bottom. Again, I really like that. Everything appears straight. And by the way, this finish, I've tried to be a little rough with it on occasion, and it still is fantastic. A lot of my rifles here, when you go to put the safety on and off like this, it actually will start to chip the paint, and this here, actually, I can kind of rub it off. That's because it does not appear to be wearing off at all. So I believe this is a moly resin type finish. Well, regardless of what it is holding up fantastic. Oh, and of course, I cannot forget that The back of this has a spring there, which is very clone correct, and I don't think I've really seen these on, well, pretty much most AK imports that we have. You do have to push this down, and I'm doing this one-handed, but do that to kind of get the top cover off. Before I do that, and just kind of run through the inside, whoop, test its durability. One thing to point out here, and I don't know how clone correct this is on other rifles, but the top cover isn't as tight fit as my SGL or SLR 104 was. You can see it's a little bit loose. In fact, there is quite a gap there. And I noticed on online reviews, other people had that gap in there as well, which is not a big deal. I just personally prefer mine to be a lot tighter against the receiver. It's just, again, a personal preference. I like them nice and flush where nothing's going to catch on the side. And so, actually, this is my Russian AK-101 import. This, I paid good price for this back in the day. I really like the contours of it. It actually fit all of my AK-100 series rifles just fine. In fact, it has almost the same contour. It has a little bit more of a curve up there, so that's probably the only major difference, but it fits really nice and tight. And then that back side right there fits really nice and flush with the receiver. Fit and finish is almost an exact match, so honestly I'm going to probably swap that on there. Again, personal preference. This is a lot tighter to take on and off the rifle, but I really like just when a top cover fits nice and good on it. So again, just a personal preference, nothing that's a knock. Otherwise, I don't really know what else there's to go over on the outside. I am going to go over magazine fit and finish. I'm going to see if I can do this with my knee here, with the phone in my knee. Top cover comes off really nice and easy. And then again, if we look at all the internals, I mean, it's an AK. What do you want me to go over? Everything is completely fantastic. Okay, let me see if I can hold the bolt face back so people can see. It is just bleeding chrome off of there. That's from 100 rounds this last weekend. So far, no deformations, no peening, nothing on the lugs at all. Everything looks fantastic. That bullet ramp right there has, let's see, 2 grooves on the side of the feed ramp. Losing the bolt here, holding it with one hand, and everything looks fantastic. There's that bump rivet right there, which is a rare feature on a lot of American AKs. So far, absolutely fantastic rifle. By the way, let's show you the rifle with my Russian on here. Now keep in mind I am doing this backwards, and it is a little cold out while holding the phone in my hand here. I'm doing this completely backwards, how I normally would do it. All right, there we go. There we go. Not too bad. And so that's what the Russian looks like. I just happen to like the feel, and if I show you on the back side how much flush that is to the back side, it's completely flush there. This is from years ago when I dremeled it a little too far, probably 10 years ago when I had this, and you can see there's a little gap, but not really a big deal overall. I just happen to really like how rugged that feel is. Okay, to finish this review off, magazine testing. The AC Unity mag, let me move this rifle to the end, just so people can see. I will summarize right now. Probably the thing that caught me off guard the most is every single magazine, no matter what it is, had trouble fitting into this rifle. In fact, it was to the point where I was concerned I may have to call customer service. And again, a lot of AKs over the years I've had, arsenals, all that stuff, and you do get the tight mags, fit and feel, and I understand the AK-101 is not a very standardized magazine that you get across countries and stuff, and I have a variety of different imports here, so I was fully anticipating there might be some problems with that. However, once I took a little file, and I thought I may have to file some other things, but all I had to do was just a little file. Some of these, like this one, I had to file a lot more because I wanted it to go in nice and smooth but have solid lockup. Just took a little file to the underside right there, nice and slowly, taking it off, and just start throwing it and testing it. But once I did that, it was a very nice fit and feel. And this AC Unity is probably one of the looser mags that I have, and yet still fantastic fit. If we go down the line here, I have some more of these bargain ones. These are actually Bulgarian imports. You got these from Gun Mag Warehouse. I think these are $13.99, so probably some of the cheapest mags. But again, very nice fit and feel. And if I can show you the wobble, it's a little hard to do this one-handed, but not really much of a wobble at all. Now this tan one here, I don't know if that's flat dark earth, but that one is the one you saw me firing on the video. I got a few of those for $13.99. Works fantastic. And these are the cream of the crop. These are the Bulgarian Circle 10s. These ones, ironically, I had the worst time trying to get these in. They were so tight I couldn't even get them even hard fit when I had them, and I bought 4 of these. So, and of course these are not cheap, so, you know, I was really kind of a little worried about that. But again, just taking a little metal off the back with a slow file, and every single one of these was able to fit into there. So this one locks up really nice and good. Of course, it looks fantastic too. And this one is the one you saw me test firing in the video earlier on my other post. This one I took off just enough metal onto the backside to where it would fit. And this one, for whatever reason, if I can show it on camera, yeah, this one has the worst wobble, probably aside from the AC Unity. And yet none of the other Circle 10s do this, and this one has a lot of side-to-side play. Yet on the video you saw me post, 100% reliability, so nothing to complain with. And, you know, again, only put 100 rounds through, but it worked completely fine. Also of interest, this is my Bulgarian Circle 10 545 AK-74 magazine. So I've got a few of these lying around. I have not done anything to the back lug. This is just stock, and it is solid. Good feel, easy to come out, insert back in. I mean, I didn't have to do anything. This one fit better than pretty much any other magazine that I had. Plus, I mean, come on. Let me just, that's worth the shot right there. I mean, that is, I love those curve magazines. I love curves, what can I say? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Love these curves. So I think I'm going to keep these around. I have some more of these Circle 10s, and I'm going to look at 3D printing a follower so I can use my 5.56 ammo in there, but I haven't tested it, but I've heard great reviews from other people. All right, and finally, what was the best magazine that I found? Hands down, and this is kind of ironic for me, Palmetto State Armory. 5.56 magazines from Palmetto State Armory. I bought these plum ones, and I've got some black ones that are shipping right now to the house. They were actually supposed to be here. They arrived in my hometown, and then they took off, and now they're in another state. So UPS has just kind of sent them, I guess, on a wild goose chase or something. These have reinforced metal on the front. Feet lips are reinforced metal too, I believe, but definitely steel reinforced in the back and reinforced in the front. And this thing just has a solid feel. Just, I mean, it literally feels almost as good as my Bulgarian Circle 10. And this one here, I bought 6 of these. 2 of them, I didn't have to take any metal off the backside. This is one of those 2. I just had to insert it over and over again, and it fit. This one probably has the best fit and feel, very little wiggle, but yet good enough that I can pull that latch back, it's not holding up, and easily do a mag change. So Palmetto State Armory, you get a lot of flack. I've had some issues with you guys in the past, but you guys hit a home run with these magazines. I am definitely going to buy some more of these here. So I am very satisfied with this rifle overall. Meridian Defense, I've only put 100 rounds through this, but what more can I say? You guys did a fantastic job with this product, and I live in Virginia here, so I have until July 1st when these are no longer going to be available for purchase, and they'll be grandfathered into us. And so, well, considering they've only done 2 drops at this point, this may be one of the very few AK-101s from Meridian that are legally owned in the state of Virginia after this. And interesting enough, since KR-101 was never released by Kalashnikov USA, unless you have a Palmetto State Armory, I'll try not to laugh, but there really probably are not other firearms like this. I'll finish this review up, but probably the only other thing I would change about this, honestly, as far as things I don't like about it, that stock latch. I just really don't like that it sticks out. When I did left-hand reloads, it came pretty close to scraping my hand. I'm gonna probably go back to just a regular stock latch on there, so, because I mean, that thing just sticks out really far, and your mileage may vary, you guys may like it, but I just personally don't like it. Otherwise, if I think anything else, I'll put it in the comments. If you guys like this, please subscribe, share, and click a like, and it helps me out. Otherwise, Meridian Defense, thank you for a fantastic product, and let's go American AKs.